So I just got back from Lowe's. I went to Lowe's and to get some decking screws to use to build our garden beds with. And I got home and there's a big mirror in the living room, and I saw myself in the big mirror and I straight up had an alfalfa hair sticking up off the back of my head. Like out of my little mom bun there was just a chunk of hair. It was thick, like thick and pointy chunk of hair sticking straight up out of my head. Nobody said a word to me, not my husband, not my daughter, not anybody at the store. I was just walking around with this crazy chunk of hair sticking up out of my head. And that's my life. It is Sunday and I don't get to record as many videos as I would like to, I feel like, because we have to do everything on the weekends. Like I can't really accomplish very much when I'm home alone with the baby. So we do most of our projects on the weekends while she's napping and we can come outside and work. So we went to the pumpkin patch this morning and tired her out, and then now we've got her down for a nap and we're about to build at least one of our garden beds. Hopefully, I don't know, we'll get as much done as we can, but we wanted to show you what we're doing and how we're building them, and it's gonna be fun. Come along for the ride. Oh, by the way, while we were at the pumpkin patch, we bought some butternut squash and some acorn squash. I have never cooked with either of those before, but we're wanting to try new things and learn how to, you know, grow our own food and stuff, and those are supposed to be a really great garden vegetable, so we decided to give them a try. So if you have any good recipes or good ideas for what we can do with a giant butternut squash and a couple of little acorn squash, leave it in the comment section for me. I would appreciate it. Okay, so just in case you didn't see my last video, go watch it. But last week we came out here and we leveled this out. It's not perfectly level. We did it all by hand with shovels and rakes. We borrowed a rototiller, so we did use the rototiller to break up the dirt and stuff, but then we came out with shovels and rakes to level it out. So it's not perfect, but when we go to set the beds on it, it'll be a lot easier for us to get the beds leveled than it would have been if we had left it how it was before. So that's where we're putting everything. And we are using these pallets. The bug just flew into my eye, all the way into my eye. Okay, we're using these pallets. JR has a source, he gets these for free. The source is his work. He gets these for free from his work. So we've got, I think we're 3 short to build both of our beds. So we're only gonna get one of our beds built today and the other one will just get kind of started. But we're gonna take these and we're gonna cut them off so that they're 19 inches tall. And then we're gonna do 4 of them long by 1 wide, and that's gonna end up giving us, the inside of the bed is gonna be like 32 inches by 12 feet 4 inches. And then, or no, not 32, 40 inches by 12 feet 4 inches. And the outside measurement is gonna be 4 feet by 13 feet. And then we're gonna take some old roofing tin that we have already laying around, and we're gonna use that on the inside to fill with dirt. So let's get started.
Thank you for worrying about me.
I would just like to say that my husband does not set a great example for power tool safety. So if you're gonna do something similar to build a garden bed, please don't use the Sawzall the way that he does. Thanks. Sawzall. But while JR finishes cutting up the pallets over here, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna measure out where we're putting the corner of the first box so that we know where to place it once we start putting it together. Do you like math? I like math. I'm kind of weird like that. I'm one of those strange people that actually kind of enjoys math problems. So a lot of times in construction, people will measure from corner to corner both ways to make sure that something's square. But what I like to do is just figure out what the hypotenuse is supposed to be. So you know the hypotenuse is the angle opposite the corner of a right angle. So if you have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, all that stuff, if you remember that from like high school or whatever. So if I have a 48-inch side and another 48-inch side, then my diagonal should be 68 3/4 inches. So rather than trying to measure the diagonal both ways, I just figured out the hypotenuse and measured it once, because that's how I roll.
Just help me keep it level.
You want me to do what now?
Help me keep this level.
Am I standing on it? Or kicking up against it?
Right there should work.
Okay. So what we're gonna do right here is we're gonna put, hi JR, we're gonna put 3 screws in each of these. So we're gonna go through and line up the sides. I've got, see, 4 and then 4 laid out. So we're gonna go through and line them up and put 3 screws in each of these pairs of 2x4s. And then, JR should be a flight attendant, shouldn't he? And then we're gonna take the first side in and get it leveled out and attach the end piece to that, and then take the second side in and get that leveled out and then attach the second end piece. So wish us luck.
Lots of fun. Lots of fun. You're gonna have to edit that out.
Okay. I should mention that this wood that we are using, these pallets that we are using, we used them for the base of the chicken coop, and we also used them to build our compost out of. And the wood on these is a pain in the butt to screw through. So JR's pre-drilling, and then he's gonna go through. And we are using decking screws. We're using coated decking screws because, I mean, it's a garden. It's gonna be exposed to a lot of water. We don't want our screws to rust out. So, coated decking screws.
Coated decking screws. Say that 5 times fast.
Oh, that was pretty to listen to. Do we need something to prop that side up a little bit? I can go grab a piece of wood or something.
Why don't you put that and that and come here and just kneel on it and help me hold it?
Oh, in the tripod? This is our ghetto tripod.
That tripod is perfect.
It works, it's awesome. I'm grateful that we have it. So we're kneeling and holding level. JR was trying to show with his flight attendant hand movements was that we're actually putting 1 screw in from one side and then 2 in from the other side. I don't know if that's necessary, but it just seems like it would make it stronger to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Just being safe. Better safe than sorry, right? Unless that makes it less sturdy. This guy's kind of grouchy today. He's kind of a grouch. He doesn't feel good. All right, so we've got our first side. Well, actually we've got both sides screwed together and our first side is set where it needs to be. It's just not quite level, but if you look like this, there's like a hump in the middle and then the end is lifted. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna rake out right here and see if we can't get it level without having to do too much work. Apparently, we did a better job leveling this thing than I thought we did, because we really don't have very much work to do to get that thing to level. So I'm pretty proud of us with our rakes and our shovels out here doing this, moving all this dirt by hand. Dirt right here, you think?
Mm-hmm.
And this right here is why we want to do raised beds, guys, because this soil is so rocky. Aha! What do you think?
Let's try it.
It's not perfect, but I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's better than it was. I'm happy. So we've got that. It's a little bit bowed right there, but that's because the boards on the front are different lengths. And since we're doing this all out of found materials, we're choosing to not let that bother us, even though I'm kind of a perfectionist and it's bugging me a little. We knew that this part was going to be the biggest pain. So what we're going to attempt to do is put a couple of screws in through this board at a slight angle to get into this board.
Yes.
So wish us luck. There it is, our first garden bed. Whoop. We haven't put the tin on the inside. We still need to put tin on the inside. And then obviously fill it with dirt. And then we kind of marked off where the second one's gonna go. And I think that throughout this week we are gonna come out here and start placing all of our various things that we're planning on putting in this little area. I already kind of put my table. I'm not sure that's 100% where I want it, but I'm excited. You need a table and chairs in your garden. So the baby is awake. But now it's time for us to go inside because she rules our life. There goes my sunglasses.
And it's bedtime.
It's bedtime. The baby rules our lives. She's awake, we go inside and make dinner because actually she took a really long nap and it's almost dinner time.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we had dinner, we played with our children, now we're all snuggled up on the couch watching A Knight's Tale because it's one of my favorite movies ever. And we're gonna call it a night. I hope you found this video interesting or entertaining. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.